Apple didn't kill the dynamic island. They just put it on a diet, and not a cutback on snacks diet. This is full on Ozempic level skinny. Because if the iPhone 18 Pro leaks are real, Apple may have pulled off the most Apple move imaginable, doing almost nothing, and somehow making it the headline feature. At first glance, these leaks sound boring, but the more you look at them, the more confusing they get. And then suddenly you realize, wait, this is the plan, because according to leaks that started spreading after Front Page Tech kicked the door open and Reddit immediately lost its collective mind, the iPhone 18 Pro isn't reinventing anything. It's just rearranging the furniture. The front camera is reportedly sliding over to the left. Face ID is going fully under the display, which instantly raises a very reasonable question nobody at Apple seems interested in answering. How exactly is Face ID supposed to see your face through a glowing grid of pixels? But honestly, that question misses the point. At Apple, things don't need to work perfectly. They just need to look intentional. This is the same company that has been telling us Siri is getting smarter every year, like it's a New Year's resolution it forgets by February. So yes, under-display Face ID is the visual flex here. The punchline, the dynamic island isn't gone, it's just smaller, which is peak Apple energy. Instead of fixing the thing people complain about, Apple apparently went with, what if we just make it slightly less annoying and pretend that's innovation? There are even rumors they might rename it. Something like the dynamic dot, because if something is awkward or impractical, Apple doesn't redesign it. They rename it until it sounds expensive. Plastic case? No. Tech woven? Small battery? Actually, it's 2 batteries. Ugly camera bump? Excuse you, that's a plateau. And speaking of that plateau, let's flip the phone over, because this is where things actually get interesting. For the first time ever, the iPhone 18 Pro is rumored to include a moving part. Apple, a moving part. According to multiple leak discussions that blew up recently, Apple is testing variable aperture lenses on the rear camera. And this one actually matters. Instead of relying entirely on software blur and computational tricks, the camera would physically adjust how much light enters the lens. In real terms, that means better photos in harsh daylight, more natural background blur, and portrait shots that don't look like your phone guessed where your ear ends and the wall begins. Ironically, this is also the most un-Apple part of the entire leak, because variable aperture doesn't photograph well in a keynote slide. You can't demo it with dramatic music and floating UI graphics. You just notice that your photos look better, which makes me wonder how close this actually is to shipping. Connectivity rumors are floating around too. Satellite stuff, emergency features, the usual your phone might work in the middle of nowhere pitch. Some insiders teased space-based 5G improvements and then immediately walked it back because, yeah, let's maybe get regular 5G working first. So we'll call that a cautious maybe. But of course, Apple can't help itself when it comes to colors. Apparently, the iPhone 18 Pro is testing 3 new finishes: purple, brown, and burgundy. And before you ask, yes, one of them might accidentally turn pink again. Apple promises only half the units this time. Progress. So let's zoom out. What is the iPhone 18 Pro actually doing? It's not reinventing the phone. It's not killing notch-era leftovers. It's not giving us a clean design reset. Instead, it's refining, shrinking, renaming, and quietly borrowing. Under-display Face ID, Samsung's been there. Variable aperture, Android déjà vu, satellite features. We've heard this song before, but Apple's strength has never been being first. It's being comfortable. They wait until a feature is boring, then ship it like it was inevitable. So if these leaks are accurate, the iPhone 18 Pro isn't a revolution. It's Apple tightening the screws, cleaner front, smarter camera, just enough change that you notice, but not enough to scare anyone. And honestly, that might be exactly what this cycle is about, because the biggest twist came at the very end of the leak. The dynamic island isn't moving, it isn't disappearing, it's just slimming down, which means the biggest design controversy of the last few years isn't being solved. It's being quietly put on silent. Classic Apple. So the real question isn't whether this is exciting, it's whether this is enough. Because if Apple nails the camera upgrades and cleans up the front just a little more, most people won't care that the innovation plateau hasn't moved. They'll just see better photos, a cleaner screen, and think, yeah, this feels nicer. And that's how Apple wins, not with fireworks, with polish. Now, tell me, does this feel like a smart refinement cycle or Apple hitting the snooze button on real innovation? Either way, if these leaks pan out, the iPhone 18 Pro is shaping up to be the most quietly controversial iPhone in years. And you already know, we'll be watching every leak until Apple finally admits it exists. See you next one. Peace out.